Hello.
Yeah, Sadhna, can we start?
Yes, ma'am. Hello and warm greetings from IP Innovative Publication. Thank you, management of IP Innovatives, for giving me this opportunity to host such a great event. I welcome you all for joining us today. It's an honor and a pleasure to have you here in this meeting. And as it is Session 3, Authors Training of IP Innovative Publishing Week 2024, first of all, a very warm good evening to you all and thank you for being the part of this session. I wanted to express my gratitude for your contribution and incredible dedication throughout the past year 2023. With your contribution and support, we are reaching new heights as recently our many journals got indexed in scores. Very congratulations to all of us. Before starting today's session, I want to introduce myself, Satna Rajan, working as editorial assistant in IP Innovative Publication. I have done masters in radiology and I'm holding an overall experience of 5 years in the medical field. While working in medical industry, it has enhanced my medical skills and knowledge through continuous learning and commitment towards my profession. Before we begin, I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to all those who have joined this meeting today. Let me have a brief introduction of our speakers. In this meeting, we have two speakers. Our first speaker is Dr. Sankalp Yadav from the General Duty Medical Officer, Department of Medicine and Tuberculosis, Sri Madanlal Khurana Chest Clinic, New Delhi. He is the editor-in-chief of journal in IP Indian Journal of Immunology and Respiratory Medicine. He is associated with us and presenting on a topic of journal metrics. Our second speaker is Dr. Sandeep Kumar Mishra, Professor, Department of Anesthesiology and Critical Care, Jawaharlal Institute of Postgraduate Medical Education and Research, Pondicherry. He is associated with us as editor in Indian Journal of Clinical Anesthesia. He is going to represent a topic where to publish. So, shall we start?
Yes, we should. So let me begin.
1 second, sir. Just
Yeah, go ahead.
here it is, sir. You can
Yeah.
start.
So good evening, everyone. And thanks, Rakesh ji and Nikita ji, for giving me this wonderful opportunity to present my thoughts on this important and valuable topic. And I also wish my warm greetings to Dr. Sandeep, who has agreed generously to be a part of this wonderful webinar. So let's begin. So currently, there are so many journals. So what I will be talking on about is journal metrics, citations, indexing, and of course, self-citation as well. There's a separate section for that. So could you just please move to the next slide? So what exactly are we talking about and why this webinar is? What all not back, yeah. The third one. Next. Yeah, just stop, yeah. No, the previous one. Yes. So what are exactly journal metrics? So these are a set of useful quantitative tools that are important for the authors in deciding their manuscript submission. Obviously, not every journal is having multiple indexing everywhere, and our research is very important. It's a very important thing that we cannot just submit here or there. we need certain guidelines or certain important rankings or some certain points that attract us towards a journal, whether we'll be submitting to that or not. So these journal metrics are an indicator of that. This includes a number of things, number of metrics like impact factor, H index, site score, IGN factor, Google Scholar metrics, Scimago journal and country rank, and source normalizes, SNIP, etc. Each metric has its own formula, which is unique as compared to the journal's importance to the research fraternity, and these unique formulas and methodologies lead to different results that differ from metric to metric. A journal metrics compare, measure, and often rank research and scholarly publications. So further, these metrics could be termed journal rankings, journal importance, or a journal impact, which allow research scholars to compare scholarly periodicals. As I said earlier. Next, please. Sadhana, could you just tell the next one?
Yes, sir, one second.
No problem. So the type of journal metrics, as I said earlier, these are the journal metrics, which help us identify the quality of a journal, the impact of it in the research fraternity, and the amount of visualization of our research, which will be more evident in a good journal which is having multiple indexing in these metrics. These include impact factor, 5-year impact factor, immediacy index, impact factor without self sites, site score, source normalized impact per paper, and Scimago journal rank, as I said earlier, IGN factor score, article influence score, H index, G index, I10 index, and S index as well. Please go ahead. Next, please. So what is an impact factor? So this was proposed by this wonderful gentleman, Eugene Garfield, in 1955. It's an old thing. Yeah, it's a very old thing. The Science Citation Index was created based on this idea in 1964, and the quantitative evaluation of scholarly journals was launched for the first time. So this journal is annually announced in the Journal Citation Reports, that is JCR, which is currently managed by Clarivate Analytics and is widely used by the academics. Many related index are also announced in that JCR. Next, please. Next citation, next slide, please. So the impact factor definition and formula, as I said. For a given year, the impact factor of a certain journal is defined as the average value of citations per paper received by the items published in the journal in 2 previous years. 2 previous years, this is the impact factor. The impact factor, as I said, can be calculated by this formula given in the second point. And citable items, in counting these, indexations for the for this formula, they do not include the errata, editorials, and the abstracts. So if we publish something like as an editorial or an abstract somewhere, that will not be counted while calculating this thing, this impact factor. However, citations to all items published in this journal are included. Is there? No, okay. Please go ahead. Next, please. This is the next slide. Yeah, so these are some of the important impact factors for the journals. Let's hope very soon our innovative publication journals will feature in this list. Next, please. So it has certain criticism which are related to this. This includes the issues related to this statistical validity and also of its application for how science is carried out and assessed. In a 2007 study, it was noted there was a fundamental flaw that the impact factor present the mean of the data that are not normally distributed, and suggested that it would be more appropriate to present the median of this data. So further critics, they argued that emphasis on impact factor results from the negative influence of neoliberal politics of academia. These are a few of the criticism which needs to be addressed. Next, please. The impact factor was was calculated from a 2-year thing. There is another thing which is called a 5-year impact factor, where the 5-year impact factor is basically similar. The only thing is the 2-year thing has been replaced by 5-year thing. The index is useful in academic disciplines where the number of citations is small or it takes some time to be published results to be accepted by many researchers. Next, please. Then there is immediacy index, which is calculated similar to the impact factor using the total number of citations received in the year X by all items published in the same year. I mean, like, okay, total number of publication 10, the total number of citations received in that will be used in that year as well. If this index is large, it means that the papers published in that journal are cited rather quickly. That gives the importance of that journal, that there is a wide audience for it, and the amount of research and the quality of research is good. That's why the people around the world are actually, giving importance to this thing, and the citations are being used from that journal. Please, next, please. So the journal self-citation now comes. The journal self-citation means the case where a paper published in the journal is cited in the same journal. Okay, if I write something in IP Indian Journal of Immunology and Respiratory Medicine, I write another thing and cite the same thing. In the JCR, the impact factor without self-cites, which is obtained after excluding journal self-citations, is also announced. As the JCR is the same thing which I talked about earlier. If the difference between the impact factor and the impact factor without self-cites is significantly large for a certain journal, sometimes that journal is excluded from the JCR list. That is considered as a red flag. Next, please. Then there is something called a cited half-life and citing half-life. So these are defined as the cited half-life is basically calculated using the number of citations received in a year, say for 2004, by all items published in the certain journal in all years, from the initiation of that journal to till date. And in this index basically measures for how long the published contents are cited. In a similar manner, one can calculate the citing half-life using the paper cited by the journal. Next, please. There is further detail about this. For example, a cited half-life, if a journal's half-life is 2005 is 5, okay, that means the citations from 1 to 5, 2001 to 2005 are half of all citations from that journal in 2005, and the other half of the citations precede 2001. We are basically calculating that time period 2001 to 2005. Next, please. Then there is median impact factor. This is a problem with the, as I earlier mentioned in my slides, there was a problem with the impact factor that it shows rather large variations among academic disciplines. For that reason, the JCR classifies journals based on the subject category and provides several metrics representing each category. The median impact factor is that of the journal placed precisely in the middle when the journals in a certain category are arranged in the order of their impact factors. When the total number of journals in a category, say N, is an odd number, it is the half of the journals in a discipline or subfield will be above the median impact factor, while half of the journals will be below this figure. Could you just change the slide, please? Then there is something called as aggregate impact factor. The aggregate impact factor is obtained by dividing the total number of citations received by all items published in all journals in a certain category in the year X by the total number of citable items published in all journals in that category in the years X-1 and X-2. That is the 2 previous years. Since the distribution of impact factor is not linear but highly skewed, as I said earlier, the aggregate impact factor tends to be substantially larger than the median impact factor. The aggregate immediacy index, the aggregate cited half-life, and the aggregate citing half-lives are also provided in the JCR. Next, please. And the problems of the impact factor, as we have already, touched on, I've already touched on this thing. Still, there are certain things. The main issue was the large variation among the academic disciplines related to the impact factor. It is basically calculated by arithmetic mean of the number of citations received by the items published in a certain journal. However, it is well known that the distribution of number of citations given is highly skewed. As I said earlier, there exists a tendency that the impact factor overestimates the importance of individual papers. In other words, most papers are cited substantially less than what the journal impact factor indicates. Therefore, it is not accurate to judge the quality of an individual paper or researcher based on the journal impact factor. Please go ahead. Ethical issues, as I said earlier, there's competition among scholarly journals becomes stronger. It's a big field now, and there is lots and lots of competition in that. It sometimes occurs that some journals editors adopt policies to manipulate journal impact factor deliberately. How? One practice is that ethically troubling is to induce author to do journal self-citation. I mean, like if somebody asks me to put my citations of my previous papers in my current paper. So these things are really relatively common. Publishing more review papers than which is necessary, and publishing papers which have a higher chance of citation deliberately at the beginning of the year are similar practices. Sending multiple review articles, publishing them in the initial part of the year so that throughout the year there will be citations on that. These are some of the corrupt practices. This behavior occurs because too much importance is given to the impact factor and distorts the metric unfairly. As I said earlier, please next, please. Then something that is called as Eigen factor score, which is developed by this gentleman. And to overcome the defects of the impact factor, this was introduced in 2000, and it is provided in the JCR since 2007. The concept of eigenfactor is based on the theory of complex networks. Next, please. And it basically measures the number of times the article from a journal published in the past 5 years have been cited in the journal citation reports in that year. Like the impact factor, the eigenfactor is essentially a ratio of the number of citations to the total number of articles in a journal published. Next, please. There are certain more important things, like it is intended to measure the importance of a journal to the scientific community by considering the origin of the incoming citations and its thoughts to reflect how frequently an average researcher would access content from that journal. Basically, it is calculated, by the number of hits on that site as well. As a measure of importance, the eigenfactor score scales with the total impact of a journal. All else equal, journal generating high impact to the field have larger impact factor, eigenfactor scores. And basically it is influenced by the size of the journal, so that the score doubles when the journal doubles in size, measured as the number of published articles per year. So if there's multiple supplement articles or issues have been added up in the journal in 1 year, like special issues, it will increase. Next, please. Then they call as article influence score. It measures the average influence per article of the papers in a journal. As such, it is comparable to Thomson's scientific impact factor. It is calculated by dividing the eigenfactor score by the number of articles published in that year. And the mean article influence score for each article is 1. Okay, if somebody has published, say, 200 plus articles, that will be total number of articles, and the score will be equal to that. A score greater than 1 indicates that each article in the journal has above average influence. Please go ahead. Then now come to the cite factor. Very similar to the impact factor, it is calculated using the Scopus data and is defined as the average value of citations per item received. Cite score is the number of citations received by a journal in 1 year to the documents published in the three previous years, divided by the number of documents indexed in Scopus published in those same 3 years. So it is important that the Scopus published, and the Scopus basket of journal metrics include SNIP, which is the source normalized impact per paper, SJR, Scimago, journal rank, citation, and document counts and the percentage cited. All document types included in both numerator and denominator. As I earlier said, that here we are counting all the erratas, the editorials, and all those articles as well. Next, please. So now we come to the SNIP. So it is a sophisticated metric that intrinsically accounts for the field-specific differences in citation practices. It does so by comparing each journal's citations per publication with the citation potential of its field, defined as a set of publication citing that journal. A journal with SNIP of 1 has the median, but not the mean here. Number of citations of a journal in that field, SNIP only considers for peer-reviewed articles, conference papers, and reviews. SNIP scores are available from 2 databases, that is Center for Science and Technology Studies and Journal Indicators and Scopus. Next, please. Now comes to Scimago Journal Rank, which is a portal that includes the journal and countries scientific indicators developed from the information contained in the Scopus database. Now, as a journal with a SJR value of more than 1 has above average citation potential, and the journal with SJR value which is less than 1 has a below average citation potential. A journal's SJR indicator is numeric value representing the average number of weighted citations received during the selected year per document published in that journal during the previous 3 years as indexed by the Scopus. Higher SJR indicator values are meant to indicate greater journal prestige. Next, please. Now comes the H-index proposed by Hirsch in 2005. It is an author-level metric that measures both the productivity and citation impact of the publications. Initially used for an individual scientist or scholar, it is calculated by counting the number of publications for which an author has been cited by other authors at least that same number of times. An H-index of 20 is considered as good, 40 is outstanding, and 60 is usually considered as truly exceptional. Successful scientists do indeed have high H-indices. 84% of the Nobel laureates, they basically have H-index of at least 30. So they fall between the good and the outstanding. As it is possible to assign H-index to a group of papers published in a scientific journal in a specific year, it can be used as a journal metric as well. It increases monotonically with time. Obviously, get more and more of citations. It has shortcoming that the researcher has a small number of very influential papers they might be having some smaller number of smaller H index. Next, please. Then there is a G index. It was, it is a author level metric again, like an H index, suggested in 2006 by Leo. And it is calculated on the distribution of citations received by a given researcher's publication, such that given a set of articles ranked in decreasing order of the number of citations that they received. The G index is the unique largest number such that the top G articles received together at least G square citations. For an example, like a G index of 10 indicates that the top 10 publications of an author have been cited at least 10 raised to the power 2, that is 100 times. A G index of 20 indicates like 400, it is like that. Next, please. Now comes the I10 index. It was developed by Google Scholar. It is a number of articles published by an author that have received at least 10 citations. So could you just go to the next slide? Then there is a raw impact per publication. These are basically, calculated as the number of citations given in the present year to publications in the past 3 years divided by total number of publications in the past 3 years. This is just like similar to the earlier I mentioned. Like next, please. Field weighted citation impact. Now, when you are going for, like funding applications or academic promotions or job applications and all those things, then this thing comes to the picture. It's basically a citation impacts normalized by the field indicate how the number of citations received by a researcher's publication compared to the average or expected number of citations received by other similar publications, So similar publications are determined by year, type, and discipline. If demonstrating the magnitude of citations, it is important the field normalized citation impacts may not be appropriate. Basically used for the things that I've just mentioned. Next, please. There's something called as S index or a self-citation index, which is defined as a scientist has an index of S if he or she published S articles, each of which has received at least S self-citations. So if I have received, like I have published like many papers and I have like 50 or 30 odd self citations, and the S index will be that number. Next, please. Page rank. It is a way of measuring the importance of a website pages, based on the hits. According to Google, page rank works by counting the number and quality of links to a page to determine a rough estimate of how important the website is. Next. Good journals get multiple, hits. Altmetrics, it is another thing similar to it. Coined by the term coined by Jason Prime, and it just measures and monitors to reach an impact of scholarship and research through online interaction. Basically, the amount of interaction on an online platform based on the hits on that website. This indicator is calculated. Also called as alternative metrics, and alternative part refers to traditional measurements of academic success such as citation counts, journal prestige, impact factor, that is, and author H index as well. Includes, as I said, mentions on the social networking platforms like Facebook, Twitter, or online news sites, exports to citation management systems like Mendeley or Zotero. It all, like we all well aware of this. These are the referencing things that we use while writing our manuscripts, and the downloads of full text articles from a journal. Next, please. So all these were authentic and genuine. There is something called as fake impact factors. I mean, basically everybody has, the ethical practice that we follow at IP, innovative publication is not prevalent everywhere. Being a researcher, you must be getting multiple, emails like, okay, we'll publish this or that, and then we are indexing that. We are going to get indexed in that. But these three things which I've come across, these are all fake. There is nothing called as global impact factor. There is nothing called a site factor, and forget about there is universal impact factor. There is nothing. These are all fake impact factors. Next, please. So these were the earlier things that we basically touched for the journal citations thing. Now there's something called a self citation, journal indexing thing. Now there's something called as self citations. So a self citation is defined as a citation when an author refers to one's own ideas or data featured in one's earlier publication. As I said, its extent could be, between 12.7 to 40% among top authors per one study. So it is something substantial. Self-citation is not a crime. Okay, yeah, it is not a crime. It is acceptable practice However, illegitimate self-citation or citation manipulation can occur when the act of referencing is driven solely by self-promotions. So these are the things that we need to basically take care of and be alert of. And just a second. And this could be due to an intention to artificially increase a researcher or a journal citation count. As I said, H index, or in case of journal, its impact factor. These all basically, depends on this factor. Next, please. Consequences, obviously, if something is not that good, then there are consequences of it. Unnecessary self-citation is a violation of publication ethics, widely known. Researchers can risk one's removal from a journal, okay, and journal can lose its existing membership or a chance of having a membership in a citation index. So this is very carefully taken care of. One can check self-citation, it is important, obviously. Yeah, okay, I might have done accidentally something, which would have happened in the past. Now I'm alert, and so I want to know how I will be able to know how many self-citations I have done. So it is done like, one can check self-citation in the citation reports of databases like the Web of Science and Scopus. This information is available as to the total number of an author's citation and the number of independent citations. That is those excluding self-citation. So it is very clearly and easily calculated and can be seen. Next, please. So basically, the gist of this whole session was to highlight the importance of the journal metrics and the self citations. And one more thing that I would like to highlight is currently the Scopus. Basically, I had a discussion with our founder Rakesh ji just about like half an hour ago, and he was like, the Scopus is basically looking after, the journal is valued and weighted by the amount and the quality of the research papers. Obviously, there are so many corrupt practices, or maybe say manipulations happening, the use of AI and all those things. So I guess, if somebody is interested, then the research paper, a quality research work sent to a good journal, maybe one of from the list from the IP innovative publication, obviously, that will help. So just as I said, what we learned from this session, there is no metric is perfect, and all metrics have limits and problems. Okay. Therefore, it is necessary not to rely on quantitative measures too much when we evaluate journals, papers, researchers, and institutions. Next, please. So these were some of the references that I used, and I guess let's move on to, and thanks for your valuable time and patience hearing. And I guess for questions and feedback, you can just drop it to the chat box. I'll be glad to answer them. And I guess now I will not occupy too much of time of Dr. Mishra, who is here to help for the next session. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Well said, Dr. Sankalp Yadav. Thank you for sharing your valuable knowledge and your expertise and
It was a pleasure.
Great elaboration regarding the topic of journal metrics. We are very pleased to have such a great lecture.
All right. Thank you.
Now moving ahead. Just a second. Now, the declaration of best authors in most cited articles, we are just going to give the certification for the best authors in the most cited articles. First certification for the best author, this is certified that Dr. Ankit Mittal is recognized as a best author in the journal Indian Journal of Pathology and Oncology. Congratulations. Next is Dr. Richa Mishra is recognized as best author in the Journal of Management Research and Analysis. Congratulations. Next is Dr. Sanat Udyawar is recognized as a best author in Indian Journal of Pharmacy and Pharmacology. Again, congratulations. Dr. Imrad Hamid is recognized as best author in International Journal of Clinical Biochemistry and Research. Congratulations. Ms. K. Anupama is recognized as best author in IP in India in a Journal of Neurosciences. Congratulations. Mr. Keval Rawal is recognized as best author in IP International Journal of Comprehensive and Advanced Pharmacology. Moving ahead. For the next one, to Mr. Nimish Vijaykar is recognized as Best Author in IP Indian Journal of Orthodontics and Dentofacial Research. Congratulations. Next one is to Nimpute Rupal is recognized as Best Author in Indian Journal of Microbiology Research. Congratulations. Next one is Pinaki Ranjan Devnath is recognized as Best Author in IP International Journal of Medical Pediatrics and Oncology. Congratulations. Ms. Radhika Mitra is recognized as Best Author in International Dental Journal of Student Research. Congratulations. Next is Dagavendra KR is recognized as Best Author in IP Indian Journal of Clinical and Experimental Dermatology. Congratulations. Next one is Safwat AM is recognized as Best Author in IP Indian Journal of Immunology and Respiratory Medicine. A very congratulations. Next is Ulfat Amin is recognized as a Best Author in IP Journal of Pediatrics and Nursing Science. Congratulations. Next is Vaibhav Jain is recognized as a Best Author in IP Annals of Prosthodontics and Restorative Dentistry. Congratulations. Next one goes to Vijaya C is recognized as the Best Author in Indian Journal of Pathology and Oncology. Congratulations. And thank you. That's all. This is all about the certification. Now, I would like to invite on screen for the next lecture to our second speaker, who is Dr. Sandeep Kumar Mishra, a professor and Department of Anesthesiology and Critical Care, Jawaharlal Institute of Postgraduate Medical Education and Research, Pondicherry, and who is associated with us as the editor in Indian Journal of Clinical Anesthesia. A warm welcome on a screen to you, sir. And he's going to present his valuable knowledge and expertise on the topic where to publish. Welcome, sir. So can I stop sharing so that you can share your screen with us? You're not audible, sir. Just unmute yourself.
Thank you, Sadhana. Am I audible?
Yes, now you're audible.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Nikita, Dr. Sankalp, Dr. Pandit, and all others.
You can share your screen, sir.
Is it visible to all?
Yes, sir, it is quite visible. You can start.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Now the topic is where to publish your article. Your article may be a research article, it can be a meta-analysis, it can be a systematic review, or it can be a case reports, or some sorts of case series, or any others. Now, there are various methods are there to publish it and where to publish. So most of you prefer to publish in a journal which is particularly relevant to that topics. Now let me go to next slides. Modes of publishing is renowned journals. The next one is, which is also used, is book chapter publishing. A single chapter or a few number of chapter in a books. Next is total books published, where you are the part of the editorial team, or it is requested by the one of the publishers, and then you discuss with them and you publish the books. Then something called preprint, which I will explain in the further next slides, and the other modes of publishing, which is helpful, are social media, which is common are Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and all this. Then some online platforms like blogs, which is nowadays relatively less used. Then some company or personal websites. Like I'm working in my institute, my department, I have a profile, and where my articles will be, all the articles will be there. Then at the end, how to get your paper notice. We'll go in this order, and it will take around 10 to 15 minutes. let's start with first one, renowned journals. So when you are planned a research article, particular relevant to one specialty, let it be suppose I am from anesthesiology or from critical care. First of all, I will decide to publish in that journals. Then specific to one area, suppose it's related to equipments or some sorts of surgery, let it be suppose one types of surgery. I may be interested to publish it in that surgical journals. So with this, what other things we should see? One important is aim and scope of the journals. What are the aim and the scope of the journal? You have to see when you are choosing it. That is one of the most important things. Now, next we always go indexing system. Okay, most of these required indexing system where it is indexed in various indexing system from a Google Scholar to Scopus and PubMed and Medline and all this. So always we want some sorts of impact factor or some other sorts of which are already told to publish it. Now we see the editorial boards, how the editorial boards are. Are they really experienced? Most of them are really experienced. It's not like that. So we see that overall we can decide. Then how the peer reviews process. Few journals are there when you upload and you see within 7 to 10 days they may accept it. Yes, it can be possible. It's a rapid system in there. But in a tendency to do early publications, the peer review can be a shortcut. So we have to go through that. So it is not that practical unless until we know from our other authors who already published there. Now, reputations of the journals, which is most important, and the policies per author. There is a lot of policies per author will be there, which is paid journal, it is online open access, like that many other options will be there. So we have to see the policy per authors. These are the above all this what I told is the key indicator for the quality journals. These criteria can help to identify the quality journals suitable for the publications. Now, let me tell about one topics in my specialties, which is anesthesiology. So suppose we planned a articles few years back. It's called comparison of preform microcup and preform uncupped endotracheal tube in pediatric patients who are undergoing cleft palate surgery. So it's a randomized control trial. So it is a RCT. Now where I am going to publish. So I have an option. This is a endotracheal tube of a specific type called microcup or uncupped. So it is in a specialty of airway management during perioperative period in ICU, in respiratory medicine, and any others. So that's the one part. Second part is it's a pediatric group of population. Third is where it is done. It is done in cleft palate surgery. One particular types of surgery we have done. So here what we are going to see whether I am going to publish in a journal which is all these types of articles. So let's choose a suppose in my specialty it is a pediatric anesthesia or a anesthesia journal where around 20 or 30 top journals are there. Whether I can publish my article, what is the quality of my articles, or you have to decide well before that. Then you have to see, as I told, one cleft palate surgery. So whether we can publish in a journal of cleft palate surgery or any other journal relevant to important journal related to cleft palate surgery, or we can publish in any journals which is related to airway or some sorts of respiratory medicine or respiratory waste as part of the team. So we have to find out which journal we have to publish. Most of the time we preferred our specialty or subspecialties to publish it. Now what we did, we choose the pediatrics part, which is one of the best journal of pediatric anesthesia, one of the top most journal of pediatric anesthesia. We planned it and it took some 6 months around from the uploading to publishing to early views and all this. It takes sometimes few months, at least in a renowned journal, it takes 2 to 3 months or more. Depends upon the articles, their timing, and multiple factors. So this is what we went through. So we always choose to publish in a renowned journal in a specialty. However, we know that there are some sorts of limitations. We got rejected or we supported with some comments from the renowned journal. We can choose because there is something new, still we are feeling it. So we can choose one more in this area, as I told, one airway, one pediatrics, one cleft palate surgery. So we can choose any anesthesia journal next to this, and we can again upload this by changing something which we got from reviewer. Few points we modified accordingly, and we again reviewed it by our co-authors and all this, and took a decision to publish in next level of journals. So we go through a renowned journals, says impact factors, what we still somehow is important in academic institutes, and that's what we have to go through that, and then the specialty and subspecialty. So it's the examples I gave it. Now, next methods is book chapter publishing. Book chapter publishing, most of the time the editor will let you know that these are the chapters I am giving you, this one chapter or two chapters specific to the specialty or subspecialty. So we have to plan it with a time bound, with some guidance and an instruction from there, including the publisher instruction. We have to go through that. So this is one of these, writing a book or a book chapter is different from an article because author has more opportunity. How it's more opportunity? You can give your inputs because it is given to you to write in a specific area of our subjects. So we have more scope to write something which we, with our experience or with our knowledge. That is one advantage. However, this also, many of the books now also undergoing through a peer, some sorts of peer review or section editor sorts of. So they will again modify to one or two people and they will again send to you and we have to publish in that chapters. So second is more page allowed because books most of the times, both ebooks and the printed books, they also allowed more pages. So because it's not that because number of article, number of pages will be limited to a journal. Sometimes books can be more number of pages, depends upon the quality and quantity of what is required. Then you can give a total overall background information, what you want to tell, and you can discuss related content that in a manuscript for a journal also with the editorial boards. Writing a book requires time and commitment. Yes, it's required a limited times which is given from 3 months to 1 year. Then it will again review by the editorial boards and followed by the editorial board, followed by the company which is, suppose you are doing it in Innovative, Springer or LWA, anything, they will send their team of people to edit it according to their style of book writing. An early consideration is whether the author or co-author will write all the chapters themselves or if the book will be contributed text. As I told, it's a number of chapters or a total books planned by editor and given to the multiple authors in different specialty and subspecialty. In a contributed book, author or co-author write individual chapters, as I told earlier, with the guidance of the editor. Already I explained, who assemble those chapters into the book. Author with known expertise may be asked by publisher to write the books. Usually the acquisitions editor contact the author to inquire about the author interest. Suppose I am interested with in a pediatric patient with a tracheobronchial foreign body where anesthesia and the intensive care consideration. So the already editor know that he is working in this area and he may ask you to write this because of my previous contribution to the various journals or chapters or my experience in a conference and others. He may ask me to write specific in this area. Depends upon our expertise. Then next is the publisher is responsible for getting the books at the end into the production, copy editing, manuscript, designing of the book, carrying out other details to produce it and marketing it. This is overall about book chapter publishing or a part of the books, which is a chapter. Then, as I told previously, preprints. Preprints are nowadays 2 numbers of articles we are also sending because it's before the publications. It's already it's going to publish with also a specific number, what we call as DOI, digital object identification numbers. So a preprint is a version of a scientific manuscript posted on public domain or public server prior to formal peer review. So it's not gone through a peer review process of a journal and you republish it. As soon as it is posted, this preprint become a permanent part of the scientific records. It's available in specific sites. Let's see preprint citable with its own unique DOI. So its DOI is, they have specific DOI. So it's all the digital object identification number. So this is a permanent part of a scientific records. So example I have given here. So there are certain advantages are there when you are pre-printing and you know that your peer review process and all this will going to take some time, which may be 3 months to up to 1 year, or you may have to go through 2 or 3 journals before publishing here. This content is available, though there are certain limitations like it has not gone through peer review, but wide acceptance among the specific area which you have done your research or your manuscripts, and they are going to read it. So in the moment it's published in some others, that will going to cite more, and they can cite also this DOI. So there are some controversy will be there. Most of the time we prefer to have a specific journal, which is a peer review journal, to do it, but there is a DOI number. So this can be also cited if you found that something good, because it's a permanent part of the scientific records. Now social media, though we published articles, so we send through social media, which is like a Twitter, Facebook, and all this. There is some controversy, but most of the times we publish the title of the articles with our co-authors, and we send a link. And the link, if it is available free of cost, like open access, it's fine. If it is paid, we are not allowed to share the PDF or the any other formats available. So we have to be cautious when initially we are writing to share with our friends. So we should make sure that copyright content should be avoided as far as possible. You should not actually. Now, how it's help? Yes, if you are sending in a social media where particular area, let it be respiratory medicine, and so many social your friend circles are there from 5,000 to 50,000. Many of them going to read it, access it, and future also they are going to write something about that, or they will have more knowledge, and they will cite this article if they are interested in this. So it's going to help to widespread your articles among the researcher. So a well facilitating the frictionless sharing of information media is powerful measure of the public level interest in research. This is I quoted from one of the journals. Then the last one, but it's also important, how to get your paper notice. How can you publicize your paper? As already I told, this social media, which include the Twitter, Facebook, and other blogs, we can do it. We can publicize among our friends circle through email. Nowadays, WhatsApp, which is very commonly used, some telegrams also. We can put in our websites. It is the official websites of your academic institutes, where your profile is there, or where your scientific writing, all the articles will be there in one place, where you can put all of your articles with proper link so that it will highlight more. Also, we can share this. We can share this among friends through other methods if it is practical. Like we have a group of people who are working in one area. We can share with them, and so that they will be aware of that. Through any of the methods, the same like you WhatsApp or a Telegram group or a Gmail groups or any other groups, we can share it. And these are various way to get our paper notice. So this is a very small topics and quite important topics, and I put in very briefly because of short time available, which I have to prepare at 2 o'clock today, only 3 o'clock after coming. So it took 1 hour to highlights, and I think overall brief of the content I put it to this. To summarize, we should make sure that we should try to publish our articles in a renowned journal if it is feasible, because we have worked hard over years to do it. Many of the institutes getting a intramural grants or extramural grants for that, which you are spending a lot of money. And from the beginning of this, let we get equipments, and then only you can do a research. So all that grants has to be published. It should be useful to all. However, this can be published in the next level of journals because you feel that there is something is there. Okay, extra. Okay, one. Second, we are eager to publish it because of various factors, including I do agree that for promotion related, for many of these institutes which we require to publish in a index journals, which index like Scopus or PubMed or any other few more. So we have to publish it. However, we should make sure that the content should be good and it should be read by all the authors properly and manuscript to be reviewed properly. Then only we should upload it before that. And because at the end, this is going to highlight in throughout world with a DOI number. So nothing should be wrong as far as possible. And no copyright content should be there. And these are the overall methods to makes your you can do it to make your paper notice in various media. And one of them is also ResearchGate and Google Scholar, which is commonly used nowadays. ResearchGate, you put all your articles in one place, and they automatically also find out from the various input they have system. Okay, like some sorts of AI, you can tell. Google Scholar also find out, and it will automatically come. It will show your citation, your other H index, your I-20, I-10, all these things. And that will show I-10 and other things. So automatically, and you can also, whenever you require, you can take it by retrieve it through reference manager and notes or any others like Jotiro and all this for a reference purpose. If you think few appeals are required to cite or other ask you overall about your articles in details. So these are in briefs about how to make sure how to where to publish. So in summary, these are Inode journal most commonly used, book chapter publishing, book publishing, preprint, which is nowadays a few of the articles in my institution also, many of them are using sending as preprints. I have last year one article from there. Social media, online platform like blogs, company or personal website, including your department websites. And at the end, as I told before, how to get your paper notice by various methods, from a social media to Google Scholar, ResearchGate, and one and many more are there, which innovative applications always asking us to do it. Thank you all. Thank you, Dr. Sadhana, Nikita, and Innovative Publications. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Very much, sir. Thank you for sharing your valuable knowledge, and it's more than sufficient. And thank you for sharing your elaboration and expertise in a particular topic where to publish. You can stop sharing, sir.
If I may.
Yeah, sure, sir. Go ahead.
Sure,
Dr. Mishra, thanks for a wonderful, lecture on this important topic. There are certain questions in the Q&A box. Could you just have a look at those?
Yeah, I am just checking it, please.
Sir, can you please stop sharing your screen?
Dr. Mishra, sir, kindly stop
Okay.
your sharing, please.
1 minute.
No problem.
Yeah. Now I'm able. This is fine.
Yes, sir, thank you. So before moving towards our question answer session, I would like to add, launch one poll. Sadhana, can you please stop their sharing of screen? Yeah,
Yes,
thank
sure.
you. So I'm launching one poll, the question poll, and this is. Yeah. Why it is important for authors to identify their target audience, to limit the potential audience, to exclude certain readers, to prevent diverse readership, to enhance marketing strategies on content towards specific readers.
I hope after this session, everyone can answer correctly.
Only 10 seconds remains. So can I request one of our speaker to
handle this.
explain the answer, and you are able to see that most of the poll is selected option 4.
Yes, of course, that is correct.
Yeah. So give a brief. Thank you.
Yeah. Obviously, if somebody says, Dr. Mishra sir has just now, highlighted about his paper on that cuffed and endotracheal tubes and the uncuffed one. Obviously, those who are practicing in this field, they basically intend to read more about this, Obviously, a person who is doing a gynecology is basically not concerned about this until unless something is really related to this.
Yes.
So that's how the answer number 4 is correct. Am I right, sir?
Yeah, yes, sir. Thank you for enlightening. So there is few questions in the question answer box, and please select of your own choice. One is the what is the criteria for authorship? Does it depends on the number of chapters?
Dr. Mishra sir will handle this, please.
Dr.
What is
Mishra,
the
sir?
criteria? What is the criteria for authorship? Authorships should include from this planning stage when you are planning a research. Your innovation means it's your ideas, okay, thoughts. That's the one of the most important. Then to all these stages, which is to submit it in your research part of your institutes, followed by getting ethics committees, start with small things, but that's also important. Then you are going to register in a CTRI. These are all minimum things required. Next is you are going to who are going to do the cases, which is your, then is your who are collecting the data out of the authors. It's not that it's most of the time necessary to be all the authors who is particularly doing that research and overall, and at the end someone overall doing editing the manuscripts, and from the beginning is guiding you part of the teams who has expertise, who may be doing slightly limited numbers of cases or part of the team, which can be added as authorships because from the beginning to end stage there. So it depends upon all. If I have taken help of a statistician and I feel that he is also part of the team, so it depends upon articles itself, which article. But regularly we don't put a statistician, but sometimes we do often because we feel that from the beginning to till end of that article published, and the journals which asks in peer review process to edit and modify something, we have to go back to the SPSS or other modes and minor changes and all these within rules which we can do it or re-edit it. So sometimes we do also. So it depends upon who is the principal investigators, who is responsible, and most of the time they are the corresponding authors or can be others corresponding author. Overall, these people will decide who are the authors, and it's though it start beginning with your registration with the ethics committee UCTRI for this, but at the end many people contribute because in a halfway one or two authors you may not continue because of some reason, or continued but not able to continue for publication process. So you made one or two, it depends upon that, but it is not specific that whether you should include them or not. At the end, the journal don't ask, they ask what are they contributed most of the times in which parts. From the beginning, contributing the data, including patients. And in institutes like us, there is some teams are there where 3 or 4 faculty will look into that who are actually doing the cases in routine, which is without our more or less knowledge. There is a system in there like this. So sometimes issue come, but most of the times make sure that authors are those who are really involved with the articles. Is it okay?
So I guess we have many questions now. Let's move on to the next one.
Yes, the next question is, can PhD scholars make use of preprints? Will it be accepted for mandatory publication before thesis submission?
Dr. Mishra sir, kindly highlight because
It
I'm
depends.
not,
Yeah,
I'm actually not well versed with
yeah,
the.
I have only few number preprints, which is also last few years we used to that. But it depends upon your institution and the quality of that, and whether you have already uploaded it in a peer review process. But it has a DOI number, which is going to stay. Okay, so they should accept, but it depends upon the institution. We cannot say, at present, because some PhD scholar, because you have uploaded it and they have given you a DOI number, it has not gone through a peer review process. It's highlighted your articles well before it is going to publish, or it may not publish also, we don't know. So it depends upon your over that research body which participate or your institution where it's doing. We cannot always say, but it has a DOI number, but not like a some Facebook or a Twitter or a from a YouTube. So I cannot say at present, but DOI number is there means definitely it is acceptable. But the content is not peer reviewed. That it should be clear. So questions is there whether we should accept or not. The academic institution policy can decide.
And now coming back to the next two questions about the ResearchGate thing. So we basically don't need any reference to join ResearchGate. It's free. You can log in and make your account and just put all your, studies or publications over there. You can follow the people that you know, those you want to know. You can, text them privately. You can ask questions related to the confusion that you might have, and the research fraternity will respond to it. Usually their responses are quick. So there is no problem with that. Obviously, about the use of it. So I request Nikita to plan a separate session about using this ResearchGate thing, about this thing. We will definitely look into it.
And just add, basically, it's you have to log in. Once you are logging with your username passwords, you have to add your articles, and you can go like other articles. Suppose you can follow them in your
Even if you
specific
don't have
area. So
anything,
it's
you
basically
can
simple.
log in, yeah.
Yes.
So there is always a beginning. Nobody is born with 100 publications or 200 publications. We all started
Yeah.
from scratch.
Exactly.
So,
So this is now time to launch second question. It is the last question for today.
oh yeah, please.
Yeah. Literature review or survey is a initial stage process, continuous process, offline process, all of above.
Meanwhile, I guess I will answer these two questions who are simultaneously.
Oh, please, sir.
Yeah, this is the thing that Mr. Mubashir Zafar has asked about the placement or sequence of author. Yes, it matters. Obviously, first author is given relatively more importance, but there are certain journals that that give you an option that first and second author both will be considered as first author. Obviously, everybody contributes, and there is certain thing called as amount of contribution, conception, and all those things that decides the authorship. But you should be very careful, because a number of retractions happen about this because of this authorship issues only. And the minimum expectation of reviewers, obviously, if you write something good, you are referencing it you properly, and you're not plagiarizing, usually reviewers are good. There are way to answer. It's not necessary you always accept what they are saying. You can disagree with them as well.
So now the answer is all of above. And since last 2 days, every of our author is getting number of trainings for the research publication. So I appreciate all of your participation, and answer is right. It is all of above. So now one of our author had asked the criteria of awardee bodies,
Yes.
which is for the authorship, that is most viewed, most downloaded, and most cited. So it is transparently available on the website, and with the every article metrics. I'm not telling you about the journal metrics, right? With every article metrics, you just go through on the website archives. Every information is available there. I would like to ask Rakesh is with us right now, and he will explain you how we will decided this all thing. Rakesh, please go ahead.
Welcome, Rakesh ji. Please go ahead.
Good evening, sir and madam, all authors, researchers, and today panelists, and wish you happy new year. And for last 3 weeks, we are organizing the same program, like authors program, reviewer training program, and editors training program. So last 6 days, we learn lots of things which helpful for all our authors, researchers, and academicians. So some researchers have queried how we have decided the aesthetics, certificate aesthetics. So these are the reports available on the journal websites. I can show you. Yeah. See, these are the name of the journals. And these are the articles which is most viewed article. If anyone want to see, can they check the article name, journal name, article name, and this is the author details, corresponding author email ID. This is a page number, and this is the viewed articles. We have lots of report, but we have only finalized 12 to 17 authors in all category. Most viewed articles, these are the authors we have shortlisted from for year 2022 to 23. On the basis of 2 years data, we have calculated it. Then second is most downloaded article. Similarly, this is the article code. already available on the website. The short name of the journals. This is the most downloaded article. I can say this article has getting downloaded 3,782. This article has get downloaded 3,341 like this. So these are the criteria which we have decided the best, most downloaded, but best authors. Then most cited article that like Dr. Sankalp Yadav give their presentation, the how to cite that, increase the citation and cite of the article. So these are the approx 14, 15 author are there. So like this Kaval Ravel, this is the DOI number of this article, and he has 27 article for this article citation. So these are the statistical criteria. If you want to see, I can show you live.
Actually, we have our own in-house portal that is MPRP,
Yeah.
Manuscript Peer Review Portal. So from there we can lodge every statistics of every reviewer, author, and editor. So all these awards and recognition on is fair on the basis of statistics only. So Rakesh, do you want to source something, or we
Yeah,
go ahead
yeah.
with the question answers and the final round of awardees?
Yeah, I would like to share some
Yeah.
more important to our authors,
Yeah.
like little bit about in the innovative publication. So innovative publication is the leading publisher in publication of medical, dental, nursing, pharmacy. Nikita, should I share my screen? Just a minute.
I had made you co-host for this, so I guess
Okay.
you are, yeah.
Yeah. So, Innovative Publication is the leading publisher in publication of medical, dental, nursing, pharmacy, books, and journals. My screen is here.
Yes, yes. It is visible.
Journals list name are coming, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, we are publishing more than 204 books in all subject category, which details are mentioned there. So, you can go through it. And these are the journals which we are publishing, 50 plus journals in different subject category of the. So if you are looking for submission of the manuscript, you can submit the article. For example, I am just talking more about the IJCO, Indian Journal of Clinical and Experimental Ophthalmology. These journals last year get indexed with Scopus. So first I'm just going on the journal website. And if any author is looking for where the journal is indexed or not, so just visit the journal website, and there is the mention on the cover page, Scopus, you can see, or on the bottom also, indexed by Scopus. So when you click on this hyperlink, so it will come on this. Means it is authenticated, the journal is indexed. Sometimes we get query from authors, this journal is not indexed, how I can check it. So you can put here the source list also, like Indian Journal of title income. So these journals is get indexed, and it is covering indexing of the from last 4 years. When I click on these journals, this cover from 2019 to 23, which authors article is published. Similarly, I would like to show some more journals.
Rakesh, can you please share the resources page also for the audience?
Yeah, I'm coming there. So these are about the journals. Just I'm showing more about the journals author guidelines. So when I come on the journals, this is about the indexing of the journals. So if any author is looking for submission of the manuscript in anywhere, so first need to author follow the author guidelines. So our author guidelines very much transparent. Author have to come on the author section and they can check the authorship criteria, submission checklist, manuscript submission guidelines, how to prepare manuscript, cover letter, pagination, and Scopus. When we are processing the article for Scopus and indexing, there most of the indexing agencies are looking for the research articles, especially Scopus. So I request author to please submit maximum to maximum research article, which is get more valuable for your progress, your means careers.
Thank you,
Then,
Rakesh. Yeah.
then again, there is the resource center for our information center. Here you can find like NMC approved journals. Few journals recently get indexed and 2 more journals are coming soon. So these are the journals which recently get indexed with Scopus, DOAJ and UGC. 7 journals or 2 more journals get selected, which is not updated in this list. Then author, this is the author guidelines. Similarly, guidelines for the reviewer also, where reviewer can check the guidelines when they are reviewing the articles. Editor's guidelines, publisher guidelines, journal selection. This is a very important point for authors. When they are submitting their article, they can select the journals as per their subject specialty, publication charges mentioned there, submit manuscript, about the journals, editorial vote, call for everything is mentioned the journal website. So we are very much transparent about the policy. Innovative Publication regularly organize various different program for our authors, researchers, and reviewers for quality publication of the research resources, etc. Okay, Nikita, thank you.
Thank you, Rakesh. So, in the continuation, I guess there is a few questions. One is that why Scopus is showing only till 23. So I would like to inform you, actually every indexing agency can show you the current till the last published issue, not for the future or the ahead of print issues they can consider. So let's allow some time to do updation through the indexing agencies.
No,
on
that is not from our side.
Yeah,
These all
exactly.
innovative
It is-
publication, all journals get selected for 3 years. For 24, 25, and 26.
6
On
years.
the 26.
On the basis of previous 3 years.
Previous 3 years.
Yeah.
So when the next 3 year will come, that will be considered. And then every 2 years or 1 year, they review the journals. If journals following the guidelines of the all publication ethics policy, then they will continue after 3 years. So in meantime, if you will degrade our quality, they will out from the indexing also.
Exactly.
So we mostly
It is the quality indices, right?
Yes, yes,
all
yes.
All database and abstracting are the quality indices. So when any compromisation with the quality of an article or a research, then they have a choice to take out the journal from indices too. So this is now can I ask Sadhna to announce the remaining of these recognized authors? Thank you, Sadhna.
Thank you, valuable authorities, Rakesh sir and Nikita ma'am, to share your great experience and knowledge and put shine on the upcoming Scopus content and everything. Thank you very much. Let me share my screen.
Sadhna, I would like to announce 2 more things. Our 2 journals have recently get confirmed in Scopus indexing. That is IJN, Indian Journal of Neuroscience, and JDPO, Journal of Diagnostic Pathology and Oncology.
So congratulations all the editors, reviewers, and our staff team, authors for these journals.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir, for sharing your knowledge and for spreading it to our listeners as well. So, proceeding to the next declaration. So, for the declaration of best authors, most downloads articles, first certification for the best author is recognized to Amit Ray as a Panacea Journal of Medical Sciences. Congratulations. Next one is Divya Ashok Kumar is recognized as best author in IP International Journal of Ocular and Oncology Oculoplasty. Congratulations. Next one is Mr. Gautam A. Vani is recognized as the best author in IP Indian Journal of Library Science and Information Technology. Congratulations. Next one is Ms. Geeta Chaudhary is recognized as the best author in IP International Journal of Ocular Oncology and Oculoplasty. Congratulations. Mr. Javed Ahmed Mir is recognized as best author in IP Journal of Pediatrics and Nursing Sciences. Congratulations. Mr. Keval Rawal is recognized as the best author in IP International Journal of Comprehensive and Advanced Pharmacology. Congratulations. Next is Mr. Nikhil Gopal Krishnan is recognized as the best author in IP International Journal of Ocular Oncology and Oculoplasty. Congratulations. Next is Nilesh Anute is recognized as the best author in Journal of Management Research and Analysis. Congratulations. Next is Niranjan Karthik Senthil Kumar is recognized as the best author in IP International Journal of Ocular Oncology and Oculoplasty. Congratulations. Mr. Orfa Ashraf Vani is recognized as the best author in IP International Journal of Ocular Oncology and Oculoplasty. Congratulations. Mr. Pradeep Chaliel is recognized as the best author in Panacea Journal of Medical Sciences. Congratulations. Mr. Rajendra Prakash Maurya is recognized as the best author in IP International Journal of Ocular Oncology and Oculoplasty. Congratulations. Mr. Sai Ravi Kiran Biri is recognized as the best author in International Journal of Clinical Biochemistry and Research. Congratulations. Ms. Snekha P. Dominic is recognized as best author in IP Journal of Otorhinolaryngology and Allied Sciences. Congratulations. Mr. Saeed Mahboob is recognized as best author in IP International Journal of Ocular Oncology and Oculoplasty. Congratulations. Ms. Varishta BM is recognized as best author in IP International Journal of Ocular Oncology and Oculoplasty. Congratulations to you all. Thank you very much. Now, this is the time for the certification of appreciation for our kind and knowledgeable expertise speakers, Mr. Sankalp Yadav and for Dr. Sandeep Kumar Mishra. First one for the certification of appreciation goes to Dr. Sankalp Yadav. A very congratulations to you, sir, and thank you for
Sir,
sharing.
you enlighten us and our authors with your knowledge, and your presentation is very crystal and sharp, and we enjoyed the answering which you did for the all the questions during the session. So thank you very much for your presentation and your time for today's session. Next,
Dr. Nikita, the pleasure was all mine. Thank you.
thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Sandeep Kumar, sir, you are a great orator and I'm fan of yours. Previously also I heard a lot of time your oration, and thank you very much for your support and guidance to our author. Thank you very much.
And thank you, Nikita.
Dr. Mishra wants to say something. Sadhna, wait for a moment. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Nikita. It's my pleasure. Thank you, Sadhana. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Moreover, Dr. Sandeep Kumar Mishra is not well. He's suffering from fever. Still, he presented the presentation so well.
Thank you,
It's
sir.
unexpected and great congratulations to you, sir.
सर
for
ये
taking
एक
time.
Thank you, thank you.
academician का बड़ा enthusiasm होता है. And then
Very
Thank you, thank
professional, sir.
Highly appreciable, sir. Dr. Mishra is really appreciable. Thanks for being
Thank
here.
you, sir. Just I my experience only. I told I just took half an hour for a PPT. That's all.
Good
Yes,
if
sir,
somebody
I
gets enlightened
was.
by this knowledge. Obviously, I mean, like we are here to help people,
Sure,
and
sir,
IP
sure.
is
Thank you,
doing
sir.
a perfect and wonderful job. Let's see if it helps people and all.
Yes, you are
Thank you, sir.
great,
Thank you.
and in even our previous sessions, there are number of speakers, and in the previous session, 6 lectures we had done in the Innovative Publication Week for authors, editors, and reviewers. So you did a great job, and you seriously, I mean, आपने बहुत अच्छा निभाया अपने अपने टॉपिक्स को. और अब मैं आई वांट टू इन्फॉर्म यू हम टू announcement for our few of the book based author. So Sadhna, can you please compile?
Yes, ma'am, sure. Before going to that, I just would like to share something. Certification and session recording. Some of the queries regarding the same I got yesterday as well. So I would like to put a shine, just it will take few seconds. To download your certificate of participation and others, you have to visit our website www.ipinnovative.com. Click on the events and trainings, select the session, that is IP Innovative Publishing Week 2024 Authors Training 19-20th Jan. So then you can select and click on download certificate, and then you will be able to download your certification of participation. Next, if you want to download the recorded session, as we got many queries that we missed some of the slides, so you can, in that case, you can just go to the YouTube and you can visit our YouTube channel, that is Innovative Publications, and download video IP Innovative Publishing Week 2024 Authors Training. And from that, you can take the full lectures video and can grasp some knowledge which is already missed by you. So yeah, that's all. So now I can move forward. Now, the declaration of Best Book Authors Year 2023. First one is for Dr. Chirag K. Desai, is recognized as the best author in a competitive textbook of pharmacology at glance. Congratulations. Next is Professor Dr. Atul Chaube is recognized as a best author in Concepts in Pediatrics full series. Congratulations. Next is Mr. Dipesh Chauhan is recognized as the best author in all-in-one textbook for B Pharma course. Congratulations. Next to Dr. Anaba Asif is recognized as best author in drugs used in dental emergencies. Congratulations. Next one is Dheeraj B. Dufare is recognized as best author in Made Easy for MDS Paper 1 examination. Congratulations. Next one is Dr. Rihan Uddin is recognized as best author in pharmaceutical biotechnology. Congratulations. Next is Dr. Hakeem Singh Rajput is recognized as best author in a textbook of pharmacy practice. Next one, Dr. Rajesh Kavaduji is recognized as the best author in Case-Oriented Approach in Biochemistry First Edition. Next is Ketan B. Patel is recognized as best author in the Theory of Practical Book of Industrial Pharmacy 1. Next is Dr. Rucha Pandaripande is recognized as the best author in Management Guide in Oral Medicine, a concise review. Congratulations. Thank you all, and that's all. I appreciate your valuable time and contribution to this session. It's great that this struck a chord with such eminent listeners. I feel honored that this resonated with you all. By closing this session, I would like to thank again today's speakers, Dr. Sankalp Yadav and Dr. Sandeep Kumar Mishra, for sharing their knowledgeable views with us. I hope you found this session informative, useful, and insightful. Thank you all, and have a great evening, a great weekend as well.
Thanks again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Sankalp, sir, Dr. Sandeep Mishra, sir. Thank you, Sadhna. You did well, and you compiled the session well.
But
Thank
this would
you.
not be possible without you and Rakesh ji. So first of all, thank you.
And thank you, everyone, to joining for this. And please stay tuned for the next event or feast of informations on the research publication. Stay tuned. Go. Then have a great day ahead. A great weekend ahead. Goodbye.